If you are thinking of moving to or in Hartford, here's a couple things that you should know before you make that move. Before we get started with the video, my name is 𝐂𝐎𝐏𝐒. I'm a Connecticut realtor. If you have any questions regarding buying, selling, investing, or relocating, please feel free to reach out to me. I would absolutely love to help you. I'll put my best contact on the screen. And if you are interested in buying but want to know a little bit more information, I made a whole series on the buying process in Connecticut. What you should do, what you shouldn't do, and even the real estate purchase contract, which is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest contract you will ever sign in your life because you're buying a couple $100,000 home. I went through all that for you. I will tag the playlist right here. And if you have any additional questions or anything, or honestly you even want to skip it and just contact me, it's okay. I will not be offended. Feel free to do so. I would love to help you out, like I said. So Hartford, Connecticut. I did not appreciate Hartford enough. I don't, because they're constantly coming up with new little gems. A lot of inclusion there, a lot of inclusion. It's probably one of the most inclusive parts of Connecticut, if I'm being honest. There's all type of nationalities, all types of food, and all types of communities in Hartford, and you can easily find it as well. So I would say that's number one. Definitely, if you are looking for a bit of everything, go to Hartford. They have bars, they have clubs, they have events, they have for everybody, LGBTQ, they have Jamaican, Peruvian, Indian, religious spaces as well. You will definitely find what you're looking for in Hartford, because even when I search it up, I find it. And most of the time it's in Hartford. I definitely need to explore Hartford even more than I already have. But Hartford is a great space for everybody. And yeah, I honestly love Hartford, and it doesn't get enough credit. I think definitely the people that live closer to Hartford give it more credit, but I live closer to like the New Haven area, and I travel to Hartford, I would say at least on a weekly basis, but most of the time it's work. I don't like sit down and just enjoy it, and I need to do some more. I would say number one is definitely is a very inclusive area. And once again, if you were looking for anything religious, LGBTQ, any type of safe space, I feel like you would find that in Hartford. So that's definitely number one. If you are worried about anything, I think Hartford will have what you are looking for. Number two, with every pro has to fall a little bit of a con, and it's that the tax rate in Hartford is actually one of the highest in the state, actually 68.95, borderline almost 69 as a mill rate. So definitely keep that in mind if you were planning on buying a home or a car and you're planning on living in Hartford, because you have to pay your yearly taxes to the state, and having borderline a 70 mill rate, it can be a lot and could be a little bit of a burden. So it's not, I guess, a deal breaker to some, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. If you're going to be buying a home in Hartford, definitely just make sure you're looking at the taxes and make sure that you can, pay your taxes every year on the home, in your car, and probably, also your income as well, but that's a state thing. But I would say that's number two. Hartford does have a high mill rate. Number three, so Hartford is a college town. We have University of Hartford, which is a pretty, it's not large. It's not like a very large college like Michigan or anything like that, but it is a pretty good size. And we also have Trinity College, which is a smaller college, but it's a college. And it's not a college town in the sense of New Haven, where downtown New Haven, everybody's walking, Yale's right there. You can see the buildings. They do have their own kind of separate section, but it is kind of a college town. It's pretty large, to be honest. And just to kind of preface this, like, there's Hartford, and there's East Hartford and West Hartford. Even though it's three different sections, I would say if you're looking at Hartford, it's Hartford. But in this video, I am talking about Hartford as a whole. West Hartford is actually completely different, and so is East Hartford from Hartford. But Hartford is definitely like the metro city. It's definitely a college town. A lot of people commuting to Hartford as well. And we might as well jump into number four, which is the traffic. So there's many, many different ways to enter into Hartford. But I'm telling you now, leave 10, 15 minutes early because it gets slow in the morning. If you are currently living in Hartford or you do commute to Hartford, you already know, because going into downtown Hartford towards the Capitol is rough. It is, especially during rush hour. You can be sitting for a nice minute. But what's good about them is that they have multiple lanes. In New Haven, I believe there's literally only 2 lanes 1 and 2. Unless it's a one-way, then it might be 2 or 3. Hartford, especially downtown Hartford, I think it has like 3-4 lanes. So there's definitely room, but just because you have room doesn't mean you have room, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, you might have 4 lanes, but whatever lane you need to be in, I would get in it immediately, because some people might not let you in. But that is honestly like 3 and 4. Yeah, but that's honestly 4. The traffic can be a bit much if you're commuting from honestly any direction. Like I said, West Hartford, East Hartford, Windsor, if you're coming down from Massachusetts, if you're coming up from, let's say, Middletown, anything like that, be wary about the traffic. And I would always leave about 10-15 minutes at the minimum at most. But once you commute multiple times, you'll understand the flow. So that's number 4, the traffic. Last but not least, reason number 5, and I want to say I talked about it a bit, but I probably didn't in the first point when it's for everybody, but Hartford really is for everybody. And I actually, in my opinion, believe they have probably more activities than New Haven. Now, you do have Yale, right? In New Haven, you have Yale lacrosse, all that stuff, but UConn's basketball arena or stadium, the XL Center, is actually based in Hartford. As we know, UConn has one of the best, if not the best, and we know they have, fallen a little bit short of the glory these past couple of years, but they're still one of the best, if not the best, basketball programs in history of college basketball. And the XL Center is in Hartford, which is awesome. But here I'm gonna give you some of the activities that they have. They have the Connecticut Science Museum. I know a couple schools, my brother's school, went there when he was in middle school as a little field trip. They also have the Bushnell Center of Performing Arts. They have Duncan Stadium, which is where the Hartford Yardgoats play. They also have Great River Park, where you can go have a picnic with the family, or you can just chill for that day. There's a waterfront, which is also nice. We also have Bushnell Park, which is actually believed to be one of the oldest parks in the United States that was funded by the public. So, which is also awesome right there in Hartford, Connecticut. We also have Mark Twain's House and Museum and Wadsworth Art Museum. So, as you can see, there's parks, there's museums, we have sports, all in Hartford, Connecticut, which is great if you live outside of Hartford, near Hartford, or anything like that. And actually last year, the Pratt & Whitney Stadium hosted the NCAA Division I lacrosse championship game. I went to it. I had a blast. It was nice to only go 30 minutes instead of usually the 2 hours I usually go to Boston, or the hour and a half I go to New York to go see other games. But it was nice. I love lacrosse. And yeah, I actually believe, I don't want to steer you on the wrong path. I will double check my information, but I believe in the next couple of years it's going to come back to East Hartford, the Pratt & Whitney Stadium. So I know we were talking about Hartford as a whole, but it is an activity that we do have. So I hope this helped you if you were planning on living in or around Hartford, more specifically in. If you were planning on doing so, I hope this helped you. And if you do want to live in Hartford and are looking for someone to help you find a home, please feel free to reach out to me again, whether it's social media, my number, email. I'll be more than happy to help you. I thank you guys for watching. And if you like the video, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe so you're notified of when I post my next video. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.